Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Tiffani Faison, the Tournament of Champions winner on the Food Network. She'll be stopping by our show. Enjoy our program. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with their Friday headlines. In international news, Putin claims victory in Mariupol, but won't storm steel plant. Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed victory on Thursday in the battle for Mariupol, even as he ordered his troops not to take the risk of storming the giant steel plant where the last Ukrainian defenders in the city were holed up in a maze of underground passages. Instead, Putin directed his forces to seal off the plant so that not even a fly comes through. After nearly 2 lethal months of bombardment that have largely reduced Mariupol to a smoking ruin, Russian forces appear to control the rest of the strategic southern city, including its vital but now badly damaged port. But 2,000 Ukrainian troops, by Moscow's estimate, have stubbornly held out for weeks at the plant, despite a pummeling from Russian forces and repeated demands for their surrender. About 1,000 civilians were also trapped there, according to Ukrainian officials. Instead of sending troops in to finish off the defenders in a potentially bloody frontal assault, Russia apparently intends to maintain the siege and wait for the fighters to surrender when they run out of food or ammunition. The mayor of the city rejected any notion that Mariupol had fallen into Russian hands. The city was, is, and remains Ukrainian, he declared. Today our brave warriors, our heroes, are defending our city. Putin's comments came as satellite images showed more than 200 new graves in a town where Ukrainian officials say the Russians have been burying Mariupol residents killed in the fighting. The imagery from Maxar Technologies shows long rows of graves stretching away from an existing cemetery in this town outside of Mariupol. The mayor accused the Russians of hiding their military crimes by taking the bodies of civilians from the city and burying them in the town. The capture of Mariupol will represent the Kremlin's biggest victory yet of the war in Ukraine. It would help Moscow secure more of the coastline, complete a land bridge between Russia and the Crimean Peninsula, which Russia seized in 2014, and free up more forces to join the larger and potentially more consequential battle now underway for Ukrainians' eastern industrial heartland, the Donbass. In a related story, Biden announces heavy artillery, other weapons for Ukraine. President Joe Biden pledged an additional $1.3 billion Thursday for new weapons and economic assistance to help Ukraine in its strong but increasingly difficult battle against the Russian invasion, and he promised to seek much more from Congress to keep the guns, ammunition, and cash flowing. The latest military aid, Biden said, will be sent directly to the front lines of freedom. Putin is banking on us losing interest, Biden said. The Russian president is betting that Western unity will crack, and once again, we're going to prove him wrong. In more national news, cleaner Earth, healing ozone hole, less smog, more eagles. With climate change, plastic pollution, and a potential 6th mass extinction, humanity has made some incredible messes in the world. But when people, political factions, and nations have pulled together, they have also cleaned up some of those human-caused environmental problems, including healing the ozone hole, clearing perpetually smoggy air, and saving many species from the brink of extinction. We can be good at cleaning up our messes. It's whether or not we choose to be and what we prioritize, said Michigan State University environmental sustainability researcher. For Earth Day today, the Associated Press asked more than 25 environmental scientists and policy experts, including 2 former U.S. Environmental Protection Agency chiefs and the current director of the United Nations Environment Program, to share their top stories about environmental problems that the world fixed. You can find these at apnews.com. In business news, CNN streaming service shutting down a month after launch. CNN is shutting down its CNN Plus streaming service less than a month after its launch, a spectacular flame-out for a venture that had attracted stars like Chris Wallace and Alison Roman and was seen as a way to attract a new generation of news consumers. It had started March 29th, shortly before CNN was taken over by new corporate parents. The new leaders of Warner Brothers Discovery quickly let it be known they considered CNN Plus an ill-conceived idea. And finally, in entertainment news, Winfrey picks Viola Davis' memoir for her book club. Viola Davis' latest honors not for her acting, but for her writing. The Oscar-winning upcoming memoir, Finding Me, is Oprah Winfrey's new book club pick. Finding Me, which comes out next Tuesday, traces Davis' journey from what she had called a crumbling apartment in Central Falls, Rhode Island, to acclaim for her work on stage and screen. Her many prizes include a Tony for the 2010 Broadway production of August Wilson's Fences and an Academy Award for the film adaptation of Fences that came out in 2016. After I finished reading the first paragraph, I knew this was a book I wanted to share with the world, Winfrey said in a statement on Thursday. I am in awe that Viola overcame all that she did to not only survive but become a role model for the world as a renowned actress, a mother, a wife, and the woman that she is today. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, it's all yours.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Shake yourself loose from the grip of the ego. The ego's grip is an illusion. It controls your choices. The ego attempts to keep God and your true success away from you. Your ego wants your life journey to pretend to go along peacefully. It allows your motives, judgments, and expectations to guide your intentions. You are perfectly happy with your ego just as long as everything goes your way. Real life just doesn't happen this way. At times, you may find yourself in this happy-go-lucky place when life throws a curveball. This is God's way of keeping you in balance and keeping your ego out of balance. These hard knocks are learning lessons. They are in your life to teach you to choose differently. Stay humbled, letting go of your ego mind. You are a very small part of the world God created, and you exist to aid in the healing of our world. Today, understand joy exists within you, whether things go your way or not, and enjoy the day.
We have part of my conversation coming up with chef and restaurateur Tiffani Faison in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Tiffani Faison, the Tournament of Champions winner on Food Network, joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her amazing success and what's to come. Here's a bit of our conversation. First of all, I just want to say congratulations on all of your success. What has this been like for you, Tiffani, to see all your hard work paying off for you?
Oh, it's been so rewarding and redemptive. You know, I think in some ways when people talk about not finding success for a really long time and being grateful for that, it's not that I haven't had success, but I haven't had a big win like this. It's all the cliches, right? It really does make it that much sweeter. And the timing was just right for me. And I'm in a really good place where I can appreciate every second of this. So it feels great. Thank you.
Awesome. I love that. And your love of food is one of the things that really drives you, and you're wanting to please the palate. When did that start for you, Tiffani? When did you know that food was going to be, in many ways, your voice to the world?
That's such a great question. I didn't for a long time. I don't have this sort of traditional story about growing up your mom's knee, learning recipes. That was not at all my upbringing, much to my mom's chagrin, frankly. And it didn't interest me for a long time. But I do remember when I worked in restaurants my whole life, for the most part, and I was, 15 years old, working at like a 50s diner, and I worked the milkshake station, and I would, put like ungodly amounts of whipped cream on something and pile it up like super, super high, and, and I would take that to our guests, and I remember before it was about food, it was about pleasing people. And I would see people's eyes light up, and they're like, "Woo! Look at this! This is incredible!" And what doing that how it made people feel. And so I think that was the thing that really hooked into me initially, was that food could make people feel so special. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be back with you guys on Monday with more news. Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.